What is an emerging housing market, and why is Fort Wayne always included on the short list of these markets?
I keep it real, I keep it real, I keep it real, just keep it real.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Sam Hartman, keeping it real estate here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And today we are looking at the Wall Street Journal and Realtor.com's Fall 2023 Emerging Housing Market Index. Now, first and foremost, this collaboration between the Wall Street Journal and Realtor.com, I think does an amazing job putting together a quarterly kind of snapshot and outlook of where things stand in the current housing market. I've seen a lot of other news outlets and publications try to capture the happenings in the context of the real estate market, and they just fall short. So this collaboration, I think, is a great article, a great snapshot that puts the housing market into context and tries to help educate consumers on where things are at. But they go a step further and they say, here's the challenges that we're facing in the real estate market, but they also point to their top 20 list of emerging housing markets that really help buyers and sellers overcome some of the challenges of that market. So if you're considering buying a home, selling a home, relocating, or even buying an investment property, these 20 markets might be a great spot for you to consider. So let's step back, take a quick look at the snapshot of the market, some of the things that are affecting the real estate market, and what is leading to the key market indicators, the key criteria as they look at making this top 20 list. First and foremost, housing activity has slowed nationally. We are down in total transactions this year, but demand in more affordable housing markets is still keeping the total inventory of homes pretty low. It's keeping upward pressure on prices as prices continue to grow, and it's seeing a much more lower average days on market. So the market is still motoring along fairly quickly. Although slower than in previous years, it's still moving at a quicker pace compared to the national average. October's bump in interest rates actually saw housing affordability reach its lowest levels ever. And this is a huge dynamic playing out in the housing market right now. Buyer affordability is huge, and so that's why the top 20 list really highlights affordable markets as well. And so this emerging housing market index is really highlighting those affordable markets that have lower costs of living as it pertains to housing, but also as it just pertains to other costs of living as well. It highlights thriving local economies with low jobless claims and local economies that are enticing and exciting, but not too large as well. So with that being said, let's take a run through of this top 20 list and see if we see any similarities in the contenders in this list and any trends that we might be able to pull out. So at number 20, we see Worcester, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Hartford, West Hartford, East Hartford, Connecticut, Knoxville, Tennessee, Canton, Ohio, Janesville, Wisconsin, Dayton, Ohio, Santa Maria, Santa Barbara, California, Springfield, Ohio, Jefferson City, Missouri, Kingsport, Bristol, Virginia, Johnson City, Tennessee, Columbus, Ohio, Concord, New Hampshire, Manchester, New Hampshire, Racine, Wisconsin, West Lafayette, Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana at number 4, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Elkhart, Goshen, Indiana, and at number 1, Topeka, Kansas. So going through this list, you certainly see a couple outliers here where the Santa Maria, Santa Barbara, California one jumps out to me, sitting there at number 14. But you also see a lot of mid-size, Midwestern cities that tend to be highlighted by affordability as well. And that is true for us there, sitting at Fort Wayne, Indiana, sitting at number 4. We're actually down 2 spots from the summer report, but still in the top 5 is a pretty phenomenal spot for us to be sitting in our market. And so how does Fort Wayne shake out in terms of some of these things compared to the national averages. Well, the national average home price is $430,000 right now, and Fort Wayne's median price is $250,000. That's a 58% lower median sales price here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as it compares to the national market. That's a pretty phenomenal savings. If my wife went to the store and bought something for 58% off, she'd be telling me that she made money by buying that thing rather than spending money. So if your wife uses wife math, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Days on market nationally is about 48 days on market, but here in Fort Wayne, it's 56% faster at just 27 days on market. So we are more than 50% quicker as the national average is going right now. And then inventory is also another great indicator. The national inventory is about 3 months supply of homes, whereas Fort Wayne is 1.7 months supply of homes. Again, that's 56% lower than the national average. So you can see some of these key market indicators that are kind of showing the speed and the health and the dynamic of our market, just showing that Fort Wayne is actually quite a bit different than those national averages. And then here's a little extra bonus one. Fort Wayne prices year over year from October to October up over 11%, which is much higher than where the national average is right now with some of these slowing markets across the board. So you can see Fort Wayne sitting at a phenomenal spot in terms of the health of its real estate. But this is just looking at real estate numbers, and I like to take things one step further, and I like to look out the window into our community and what's happening in our market and in our local world that tells me Fort Wayne's real estate market is a great place to put your money, to invest your money, and if not as an investment, just having a great home to live and make your own. And so when I look out the window, what I see is local government that's investing in our local economy. I see local businesses that are growing jobs and adding jobs and coming to Fort Wayne to expand their operations. I see private developments getting announced every week in the downtown area, out of downtown. I see infrastructure changes, trail system growth, all of these great things that are happening in our community. So anytime I have a customer ask me, is now a good time to buy a house? I tell them to look out the window at their local community. How do you see the health of our local economy? We have extremely low unemployment. We've got job growth that is growing. We have a population that is growing. And all of these things are amazingly positive indicators for the Fort Wayne, Indiana real estate market that tells me we are standing on great sound footing, and we have a lot of opportunity to continue to grow from here going forward. And here's another great market dynamic that I think Fort Wayne can kind of leverage and utilize with how things have changed in the employment world over these last couple of years. We all obviously know that a lot of work from home, a lot of companies have instituted those measures, but maybe they've kind of backtracked a little bit and expect more of their workforce to be in office. So one of the benefits of Fort Wayne is our proximity to other major metro areas from Cincinnati, Columbus, Indianapolis, Detroit, Grand Rapids, Chicago, all within 3-hour drives that really allows the Fort Wayne population to live in a more mid-sized, affordable market, but to be able to access some of those larger outlier markets to make a commute for weekly meetings or monthly meetings or what their employer might be expecting of them. And I think that's a great opportunity in our market as well. So what do you think about Fort Wayne, Indiana? What do you think the prognosis of our current real estate market and the future of our real estate market might be? I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your opinion. And if you've got questions or feedback, let me know in the comments. I want to be your expert resource for everything real estate here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Thanks for keeping it real estate with me, guys.